Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's cross country captain Jack Ivey and field hockey coach Wendy Orrison. But first, here's a look back at last weekend in Washington & Lee sports. In women's soccer, the Generals earned their first victory against Virginia Wesleyan in 5 seasons, downing the Marlins 4-1 at Watfield behind a hat trick from first-year Ainsley Daigle. The volleyball team also beat Virginia Wesleyan, notching its first ODAC win of the season, then fell in 5 sets to Gettysburg in a tri-match at the Warner Center. Senior Rachel Phillips led the Generals with 12 kills in the straight sets victory over the Marlins, while junior Louise Brooks had 18 kills against the Bullets. Men's cross country won the Guilford Cross Country Carnival in Greensboro, North Carolina. Junior Joe Stusek and first-year Harrison Tucker both recorded top 5 finishes as the Generals took first place in a race featuring 3 other ODAC schools. Washington & Lee fell in a pair of road games in field hockey, losing 4-1 to 17th-ranked Christopher Newport on Friday, and then seeing Catholic come from 2 goals down to win 3-2 in overtime on Saturday. Senior Steph Manzi scored 1 goal and assisted on the other against the Cardinals. Men's soccer visited Shenandoah on Saturday, tying the Hornets 1-1 in a double overtime contest. Junior Ben Bartlett made 6 saves to help the Generals preserve the point. In women's tennis, junior Catherine Reed and first-year Carrie Cotter won their singles flights at the W&L Fall Festival. Reed and sophomore Ann Morris teamed up to take the Flight A doubles bracket, while Cotter paired with first-year Laura Simmons to take the Flight B title. The golf team placed 2nd overall at the Elizabethtown Invitational in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Senior Robert Womble finished tied for 3rd place. And in football, the Generals lost an overtime heartbreaker to visiting Greensboro College. Washington & Lee piled up 322 rushing yards, including 2 touchdowns on the ground from sophomore Jonathan Klemo, but the Pride overcame a 4th quarter deficit and won 26-20 in the extra session. With me now is field hockey coach Wendy Orrison. Wendy, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Coach, your team has started off 1-3 against a very tough schedule. What have the Generals done well in those games? What do they need to improve upon as the season goes along?
Right. Certainly we're having better second halves than first halves in general, which is where I would like to be, but we need to have a more complete game. We need to get out there and play all 70 minutes, and that kind of fell apart in the Catholic game. But we're passing well, we're working well together. We also have an amazing amount of team spirit and determination, and although we're frustrated with our record, no one's giving up or exasperated or whatnot.
What will Washington & Lee need to do to beat Lynchburg at the turf field tonight?
Well, we're going to need to do a lot of things really well. Lynchburg's having an excellent season. They've lost only 2 games to very top-ranked schools, so they're playing very well. We love to be at home, so that's always an advantage. The kids just come out with a huge psychological advantage to be at home. We pass, we execute everything better at home. So we've just really been focusing on the little things this season, Jeremy. We've been focused on passing and receiving and making sure that we have possession of the ball. And that might sound silly, but if you aren't doing those things, you can't execute the shots. You can't execute the goals. You can't have great team defense if you don't have possession of the ball or you're not seeing the whole field. So I hope that the girls will just continue to focus on those little things tonight, not get too stressed out, not get too overwhelmed. Certainly it's our first conference game, and so that's what we've been playing up, that we control our path to the NCAA, and it starts tonight, and that's by beating Lynchburg. So the girls are fired up and ready to go.
You're now in your 9th season as head coach of Washington & Lee.
Yep.
Where is the program now versus where you thought it would be in 2009?
I think we're where I would like it to be. I think that I continue to recruit and attract young women who are very interested in a balance between education and sports, which is what I believe in and what Washington & Lee represents. So I really like to just have a team that I enjoy being with and I enjoy working with and that wants to go out there and work hard. And with that, I hope comes a winning season, and I hope that we get some ODAC championships under our belt and we get some NCAA appearances. But what's most important to me is that they have a valuable experience at W&L, and I hope that I'm providing that, and that the team leaves having enjoyed every moment of their time on the field hockey field.
Back to the here and now, you've got a very strong senior class this fall. How will their determination help as you pursue an ODAC title?
It's huge. We have 5 seniors on the team, and they're kind of all throughout the field. A couple in the front, some in the middle, and then Caroline holding down the keeper. So I like that they're distributed throughout the field. It allows them to talk to the underclassmen, bring them along, keep their experience and their calm, as a part of the game. They get along really well, the 5 of them, and that is important, and it counts in women's sports. But their determination is key. You hit on a good word, and they are very determined women, and they're also great leaders, both on and off the field. So I think we're in a great place.
Wendy, thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Good. Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
Joined now by Jack Ivey, junior cross-country captain from Memphis. Jack, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much.
So far this year, the Generals have finished second to a very good Mary Washington team, and you've won a race in Greensboro. How pleased have you been with the way Washington and Lee have started out the 2009 season?
Yeah, I've been very pleased. We have a lot of a good talent on the team, a lot of freshmen that are really stepping up, and the season's looking great.
How are you adapting to your role as a captain, especially as a junior?
Well, I'm one of 3 captains that are all juniors, and we collectively are trying to really take charge and get the ball rolling on the season. And we've only got 1 senior on the team, so we'll have everybody coming back next year besides him. So it's looking good for this year and next year.
What makes W&L Cross Country different from any other team you've competed with?
Gosh, well, I would have to say that running as a sport itself is something that we all enjoy, and I don't know, I've played some other sports, and running has been probably the most enjoyable, just because you get to be really close with your teammates, and you really rely on your teammates a lot, and so it's been better in that sense, and I've gotten to grow close with my teammates, and really just we all do the same thing. We all run, and it's a good way to have a support system and run as a team. So
the NCAA Regional will be at Guilford, where you ran this past weekend, and you're going to be at Roanoke for an invitational this coming Saturday, which is the site of the ODAC Championship meet. How will the team's familiarity with those 2 courses help you once you get to the postseason?
That will be great, to say the least, to know those courses. Going into a race without knowledge of the course is less than ideal, to say the least. And by knowing the courses, we'll know how to strategize, where all the difficulties are in the course, just with turns and hills and whatnot, and we'll just know how to approach the course. So that's definitely key.
Well, Jack, thank you for joining us here, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
It's road trip time for Washington and Lee athletics. The field hockey team plays the only home contest of the weekend, meeting Randolph-Macon at 6 p.m. Friday at the W&L Turf Field. The Generals will then head to Sweetbriar for another ODAC contest on Saturday. The volleyball team travels to Atlanta for the Emory tournament, and women's tennis will be in action at the ITA Atlantic South Regional at Mary Washington. On Saturday, women's soccer visits top-ranked and defending national champion Messiah College, while men's and women's cross-country will compete at the Roanoke Invitational. In football, the Generals go to Averett for their final tune-up before ODAC play begins, and men's soccer travels to Lynchburg for a 7 p.m. kickoff. You can listen to both of those games live on WLUR. For the latest scores, schedules, and news on Washington and Lee athletics, visit the all-new athletics website at generalsports.com. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.